All right, we are live. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to This Week in Loaded. All right, yep, I guess as we are live. And sorry about the little bit of delay there getting the outro. The intro in. It said we were live. I hit the button and it didn't want to play the intro. So yeah, it's one of those night for technical difficulties, I guess. But let's see who we got in here so far. We got Rob. That's who's in here so far. How are you tonight?
Doing all right. Thanks for having me. For joining us, folks.
Yeah, out there in the YouTube. So we got a Krabby Turtle out there watching and G23 so far. So, even peoples. I think Kingpin was out there way early as well. Yeah, he was out there like right after I put the video, put the thing up at 5:54. So, yeah, he was a little early. So, how's your day been?
Been all right actually. So got to go out shooting today just a little while ago, so that was fun. Um, got some footage as well, so plan on throwing a video up later.
Hey, you were showing some of them targets over on foreign and domestic. Look like you were shooting with shotgun or something.
No, we went through a whole box of ammo there, so don't want to say too much, but yeah. If you're interested, check out the video. Probably, I soon be up by tomorrow at the latest. So I'm gonna try to work on it tonight, but sometimes it takes longer than it should to upload everything and all that crap. So
Yeah, still don't know where my little tabletop tripod that has my phone adapter. So I haven't got a chance to do the video I got planned to do yet.
think your wife sold that for gas buddy just to irritate you.
Yeah, I don't think she would have got much money for it. It was only $20 to begin at Walmart to begin with.
Money wasn't the point.
That's a possibility.
Should have bought her flowers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Snob's out there now. And Snob has a link if he wants to jump in. I don't know if he's on the road or where he's at. So. Yeah, there's Gary. So Ian into you as well. He's got a link too if he wants to jump in. I didn't make it to Gary's show this afternoon. I didn't get to sleep until like 8:30 this morning, somewhere around there. So, yeah, doing the early bird chat early this morning just wasn't an option. I went to bed after we got done with the wrestling thing yesterday, and I just laid there tossing and turning all night.
Somebody's sitting on a rubber ducky.
I don't know. Why, you keep hearing a squeak or something?
Yeah. Maybe it's a kitten. I don't know. It's not horrible. I'm just curious if that was like a rubber ducky. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I can't hear it with
Or a
my
cat
headphones,
toy.
so I don't know. The kids are going, but my sister won't leave them be. Oh, yeah. So yeah, according to my daughter, it's the cats bothering other cats, and so.
You sure you don't have somebody locked in the closet?
And there's nobody like you wouldn't hear if they were, because the closets are all upstairs.
Mm-hmm. And he says that like he would know.
I don't know. I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying you wouldn't be able to hear if there was.
Nice.
Yeah, now we got George out there. George Grayson Cat. And defense dad's out there saying his back hurts. I know how that goes. Yeah, and Snob says that he's too tired and that they're home now. And G23 is making allusions to Snob's toys, shall we say. Barbecue's out there. He's got a link too if he's able to jump in. I don't know if he's having children issues like he sometimes does.
I'm, more concerned and wondering if Snob's wife made it back. Did she survive the ride?
Yeah, I don't know because he only specifies that he's home.
Exactly. I mean, she could have passed because of asphyxiation, or yeah, whatever. I said that funny, but yeah, the farts could have killed her.
If anybody's wondering, we do have a topic for tonight. I'm trying to give Jason Stewart time to get in here because part of the topic is going to be based on the video that he sent me earlier, and he was saying he's not going to be able to get in until around 8:45. So I was giving him some time to get home and be able to jump on before we start talking about the topic. Um, Defense Dad, whoever told you that cats don't like cucumber is lying to you. Our cats love cucumber.
I don't know. My cats tend not to like it when I throw cucumbers at them.
My wife will make those like cucumber sandwiches with the cream cheese and stuff, and the cats are just crazy about it, trying to get them and eat them.
Cucumbers with cream cheese?
Uh-huh.
Sounds like she's pregnant, bro.
Oh no, man, they're good. It's an actual type of sandwich, dude.
Yeah, that pregnant chicks eat, and maybe
No,
Rick.
no, it's those hoity-toity rich people type of sandwiches. But she found a recipe for making up the cream cheese sauce yourself, and they're really good. Now the pregnant lady things are like dill pickles and peanut butter, which I have actually tried once before too, and that actually wasn't that bad either.
Were you pregnant?
No, more curious than anything, because you always hear like in TV and stuff when one of the chicks
Okay.
is pregnant and
Now we're getting
they're talking
somewhere.
about the pickles and peanut butter and stuff. It's like, you know what? I'm curious. We didn't have any jelly, right? This was when I was a kid. Didn't have any jelly, but we had a jar of pickles and we had a jar of peanut butter. I was like, what the hell?
I don't know, man. As soon as a girl starts eating that stuff, she's got to go. That's like the pineapple and cottage cheese. You dating a girl and she starts eating that, you know it's about to get bad. It's about to get bad.
And now the fence dad's starting to duct tape his cat to the Roomba. Uh, G23's got weird taste. He say pepperoni pizza and strawberry ice cream. Man, he's going down the Scooby Doo aisle, right? I mean, isn't that something that they did on Scooby Doo? They put ice cream on pizza.
I don't know, but that dude eats tongue, so I wouldn't, you know, count anything he has to say for anything more than ramblings of a crazy man.
I think you offended the lady at there, Rob. She says she eats pineapple and cottage cheese. Uh-oh.
She's crazy.
I don't know what the fence dad's talking about here, but he says, speaking of pickles, he wants to try making ghetto fabulous Kool-Aid pickles just to try to. What the hell is a Kool-Aid pickle? Defense dad might be pregnant. He's wanting Kool-Aid pickles. And, oh yeah, dill pickles and cheddar. Dill pickles and any kind of cheese. Cheddar, Colby, Monterey Jack.
Man, what about bread and butter pickles? Those are
Oh
the big.
God, I don't like the sweet pickles. The bread and
What?
butter, sweet pickles. Uh-uh. I like dill pickles, kosher dill, Polish dill. Not a fan of the sweet pickles.
You like the little Jergens?
The sweet Jergens? No, man, they're sweet pickles. I don't like sweet pickles. Now, if they're the baby dills, I'll eat those.
Oh my goodness. What kind of man are you?
Fence Dad said they had beef quesadillas for dinner. Yeah, I haven't made beef quesadillas in a while. It sounds like something that might be because they're easy to make. It's just like it's a Mexican grilled cheese essentially.
You know, with a title like this, I'm surprised Squib isn't drooling right now trying to get in here.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I don't know. Should I forward him a link?
I don't
What do you
know,
think?
man. What's the rating on this show gonna be?
I don't know.
You should ask if he's drunk before you actually send him the link.
He might be at work. Then we have to put up with a forklift guy. Okay. You see Defense Dad's description of the Kool-Aid pickle? I don't know if I want to try that.
Kool-Aid pickle?
Yeah, look what I don't know if you can see the
What?
chat, but look what Defense Dad just said.
What?
Yeah. Oh hell, I can put that up on the screen real quick.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah I mean, I don't know if I'd want to try. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to want to try that, something like that.
Is he pregnant?
That's what I said earlier. I think he is.
Look, man, just because the kids do that, don't mean it's healthy. Anybody know if he dyed his hair with Kool-Aid too?
I don't know, man. I haven't seen Defense Dad on screen lately. I don't know. And Gary's out there asking what flavor Kool-Aid. Does it matter?
Man,
I'm
I can't
guessing.
wait to.
I'm guessing Victoria's on her dad's account right now because she ended her quote with Tori. She said, "If it's her, she said that's nasty anyway. She doesn't like dill pickles."
Tell her I said, "What's up, yo? What's up?" Waiting on that video. Make sure you don't lock your dad in the closet too long.
Yeah. And Gary, by the way, Gary agrees with me. Sweet and pickles do not go together.
Yeah, you know, G23 scared about jumping in a chat like this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one Glock or one company that's a little famous for the title here, but we won't get on that just yet. Perfection, my ass.
Apparently, Gary doesn't like Kool-Aid either. his directions for making Kool-Aid are Step 1, add Kool-Aid. Step 2, add sugar. Step 3, let sit in the refrigerator. Step 4, place container in trash.
Oh man,
How can you not like Kool-Aid? Come on, man.
no, I know that's kind of anti-American.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it may not be the top choice, but yeah, nice cold glass of Kool-Aid, man, once in a while, just does it.
Mm-hmm. It's a good source of vitamin C, so you don't have to worry about Joe Biden giving you the COVIDs.
But the real Kool-Aid, not that Flavor Aid crap. That stuff is
Uh-huh.
trash.
Oh, speaking of the Joe Biden thing, did you see where he got out of isolation for COVID and immediately caught COVID again?
No shock. Well, which one was it? Him, the stunt double, the
Him.
robot?
No, it was him. Supposedly. I think they're just trying to hide him personally to keep him away from the teleprompters.
I gotta send you my little meme thing.
When I think Joe Biden reading the fine print at the bottom of the teleprompter that said the stage direction. Like, that may have been the last straw. They're just saying he has COVID, so they don't have to put him on screen anymore. Uh,
All right, just sent you something. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's real or what, but I just stumbled across
okay.
it and it makes me wonder.
Which email did you send it to?
Unloaded media.
Okay.
I can go look, but I think that's it.
Yeah, that's the one. I just wanted to make sure I got the right email because I got 3 different email addresses. You've sent stuff to all
Yeah,
3
well,
before.
it's not the fans only one. I know better.
Uh-huh. Don't listen to this guy.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I've seen this one. The Energizer Bunny thing. So, yeah, where is that share button? Yeah, I don't know if you got peoples out there have seen this or not. But, this is the meme that Rob just sent. Let's see if I can get that a little bit bigger. Oops, too big. Yeah, that big. Right there.
it's a funny one, right?
Uh-huh. Jason's here now. Evening, Jason.
Hey, how you guys doing?
So, how was work?
Yeah, it was work.
Work.
Let me know if I sound okay. I got my speakers on. I don't want to cause any like echo or reverb
Yeah,
or
you sound
nothing.
fine. A lot better than Kev.
Caught a little reverb just off Rich there saying you sound fine.
Yeah.
Is it still okay or is it messed up? I'll put
Yeah,
headphones on if it don't listen
you
though.
sound good. Yeah, I mean, when somebody talks, if you're not muted, we can hear it echoing. But you sound all right.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I'll just put the headphones back in. I
Okay.
Yeah,
never tried speakers before, so let me just go back to headphones.
yeah, definitely sounds better than that other dude that's been on here, that Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, you got to get him a mic. Like, that's
Yeah, I
crazy,
know.
man. Crazy.
Yeah, he.
Like, it's cool having somebody else on like that and, going through the motions, having those conversations. But a lot of times, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the conversation, I don't even know what the hell he's saying because of the mic. So,
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
We've
I
had
mean, it's
that
like,
discussion.
yeah,
We,
it's kind of an issue. If you're going to be doing a show, at least have, a freaking $10 POS from Family Dollar will work better. You know
yeah,
what I mean? You got
he's
to be
gonna
fancy.
try. He's gonna try to. He's a kid and he doesn't have a job right now. You know, he's living at home with his mother. He's 17 years old and he's using a
Uh,
Chromebook.
Okay. Okay. Well, shit, man. Well, I'll just shut up. But hopefully he makes some money soon and gets his shit together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We like I said, we had that discussion. He knows he needs to get a better mic and stuff.
So what's this Joe Biden robot here?
Yeah. Energizer Bunny says it's still going, and you got Winnie the Pooh from China there. Yeah. That's a
Good
meme that Rob sent me.
good evening, everybody out there in the chat. Good evening to you, Rich and Rob. If I didn't say anything,
Good evening, Jason.
Real quick, going back out to the chat real quick. Victoria said that she made roast beef and gravy over egg noodles tonight. Not bad. That's something that we've done in the past.
Haven't had something like that in a long time. Actually, sounds good.
I had ham and cheese sub from a drive-through.
We had roast chicken and mashed potatoes.
I had Philly cheesesteak from Domino's. As shameful as that is.
You should try their buffalo chicken from Domino's. The buffalo chicken sandwich is pretty good.
I don't like those sandwiches for Domino's. They're not very big.
They're not. We order three for the two of us, and then eat one and a half a piece. So it kind of breaks out to be like a 12-inch,
Yeah,
I guess. But
yeah,
for
but
the
they're like,
price, it's cheap and it's passable. Like honestly, I hate Domino's, but those sandwiches aren't bad.
yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. They're cheap. It's cheaper to get a sandwich from Domino's than it is to get a sandwich from Subway.
I just got. I get them all the time. I get a big sub, like 16-inch, like stuff used to be. 4 inches wide, great big huge sub from the drive-through pizza shop here. I get a ham and cheese, and it's real ham. It's not like lunch meat ham. It's like real ham, and they chip it up. Some big pieces. Thick slices, and they build you a nice sub out of it. And the big sub, I think it's $8.50.
The last time I seen a sub like that must have been like 12 years ago, and the store went out of business because they gave away the subs for the price. You know what I mean? It was like there was people that would eat that over a couple days. Used to be called a red and white store, a little mom and pop shop. Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. There's a little gas station near where we used to live. They would make a sub, cold cut sub out of a whole loaf of bread. And then when we lived in Pittsburgh, there was a pizza shop that was like right across the street from the one place we lived at, where they took a whole loaf of Italian bread and used that to make a steak sub.
Yeah, some places around here over the years, the size has shrunk down. But there's still a few places in town to get a good sub. But most of them are, if you order a decent sub, it's $15 or more. This place is pretty reasonable. Their pizza's pretty cheap too. They're only about, I don't know, not even a quarter of a mile away. I drive right by it, so you just call in an order and pull up through the drive-through and tell them you had an order, and they go get it for you.
Yeah. Rob, the ladies out there saying that if you ever offer to make somebody dinner, you're trying to kill them.
That bitch. What?
What did you say?
No,
Uh-oh,
no,
Rob's busted.
no, no.
What a bitch!
I just had
What a
something.
bitch!
Sorry.
Rob's in trouble.
Hey,
One slip of the tongue and you're in deep shit.
Uh-huh.
what? Why don't you just go like bump her out of the chat for me?
Why would I want to do that? You just
What's the
mad 'cause you
thing?
can't
Bros
because she's got a
before.
wrench too.
Man, all I can say is that must have been some really bad chicken fried steak. for to end up being a legendary like that.
Rob blames the oven.
Oh man, it was so the oven.
See, Rob with his cooking is like Val with his shooting.
Well, come on. From what I heard, I was set up from the get go. Okay, like from what everybody says, chicken fried steak don't come out the box. Don't come out of the freezer in a box, and that's what I had to work with. Okay.
Yeah, defense dad might be onto something there because he says that, and then your lady says, where'd it go? And she says, probably. So,
Don't listen to her. She's certifiably nuts.
she's wanting me to kick you out of the chat and let her in.
She's not too crazy. She knows the difference between chicken fried steak and something else.
Yeah. Patriot says Rob's just upset that she shoots better. Yeah, this is like Daniel and Val over on Scotsman's chat earlier. In this case, Rob is in the rule of Val, getting upset because Daniel won the vote on who shoots better.
No. I'm not taking Val's spot. Tell you what,
that was a rigged poll question over there on Scotsman's. Because I don't know if other people had that problem, but I was listening on my cell phone when I was driving home, and in the live chat, the poll would come up. You could only see half of the poll. All you could see was Daniel's name, and when you tried to move it up so you could see Val's name, the poll just disappeared. So there was like no way to vote for Val on the cell phone.
Yeah,
so I had to vote for Daniel.
Thank God that he's not here to hear you giving him an excuse. he would use it the way he was going tonight. But
I voted for Daniel just because that was like my only choice that was available.
On this on computer, it was fine. So it had to have been a phone thing.
Well, I didn't see Bald's last one, but yeah, like I said, just for the fact that Daniel could do it from his porch, I mean, that's a couple points right there. Yeah, it might not be legitimately part of the competition, but there's definitely some cool points there.
Yeah, Daniel had a point too. I mean, if Val was speeding up and slowing down a video, that's editing. And if they agreed no editing to the video, he broke the rules.
Yeah, well, one thing, Daniel shoots from his porch all the time. He shoots groundhogs, deer, anything that comes out there to the edge of the property. So he's used to it, you know what I mean? He's got experience from that porch.
Yeah. Real quick, gotta welcome in Guns and Barbecue. How you, Night Barbecue?
Doing all right. How about you guys?
Not too bad.
Hey, Barbecue.
But that wasn't that wasn't one of the competition videos, G23. That was a different video. That just was done during the competition, but wasn't actually part of the competition.
You've been measured and found wanting.
Yeah, Val actually edited one of the competition videos.
Hey, Jason, did you hear my final remark as you were parting last night?
Yeah, I think it did. He said something about fantasy football or something, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Only Biden voters don't play fantasy football.
Yeah, we got this fantasy football thing going, man. You got to jump in on it.
Please, I'm not black enough to play fantasy football.
There's $200 in up for grabs, Rob.
Well,
That's
that's a good
'cause
thing,
you-
Rob, because it's more of a white man's game. I'm gonna say this is
Oh,
where we, truth to
I
truth,
take
is that
no part in
yeah,
sports
but
look,
ball.
Whoa,
look at
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa, whoa,
NFL. Look at
whoa,
the
whoa.
NFL.
barbecue. Stop.
77% African American now.
So no. Stop. Rob would be able to play half the league.
Son of a
Wow.
I didn't know what to say. He said, "Hey, it's mostly white." The players that we're betting on and making moves here are almost all black, and then we're white. So like, the game itself is like who white supreme slave owning
Yeah, I never
This
thought
racist.
whole
about
thing
it
is
like this
messed
until
up,
now.
man.
Like,
We
man,
we
You ain't
want them
told me
guys to go out
about
there and
them.
kill themselves, so I can get 25 extra points tonight on my team. But
See the
actually,
crap you started, barbecue.
I'm not.
what was that?
So do you see the crap you started?
Oh hell,
I know
man, we
this.
were already picking on you from the start of the show.
But actually, barbecue. I'm not involving myself with the NFL this year any longer.
Oh, we're not going to involve ourselves with
I've
the
had a
NFL.
I've had a
Let's say this is all
fill of
ESPN.
them. I've had a fill of them. Don't want no more of them. Don't really care what they do, unless they change their ways. I'm just no longer a fan for them.
No, what Jason really means to say, until the Cleveland Browns prove that they're actually a contender, he doesn't care.
No, I mean I've suffered through generations and decades of the Browns sucking. That don't bother me. It's all the anti-Americanism, all the wokeness, all the bullshit that I have to put up through every time there's a commercial on an NFL game. So I don't want no more of it.
I feel like Jason's still using a TV from the 70s where you actually have to get up and turn the channel by hand. No remote.
Shit, sometimes I gotta move the antennas around, man, when it gets fuzzy.
You know,
Stop
I'm
it.
just going to say, the possibility of being able to win $200 is the possibility to win $200. Just saying.
Yeah, it's not worth like the $200 to actually sit down and watch sports.
You don't have to watch it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
If this was
Really,
like,
honestly,
you know,
ESPN
female
Fantasy.
volleyball fantasy team or something, that that could be a little different. Not Satan, I could get in on it, but I could see
You,
the appeal. But
you
yeah,
really don't have to watch football though, because ESPN Fantasy, they give you point projections for your players each week. They let you know if anybody's injured, who's starting, the whole 9 yards. I mean, really, if you just pay attention to the information on ESPN.com.
you're already speaking language I don't know.
The lady says Rob doesn't even know what fantasy football is. Yeah, you're probably right. She probably knows more about fantasy football than you do. You should invite her,
He
Bart.
does.
Hey, it's just a two-way football league. She's two-way. And, oh my God, her team name could be Rob's Misfit Fantasy.
Something to that.
Kingpin wants to know, when do we start dumping on gun channels? I don't know. You coming in to do so? Or are you still having tech issues? Kingpin, he's been having technical issues all night. He did last night too, if you remember.
Yeah,
We're gonna jump on Glock Perfection.
He needs a new computer. His computer's dying. We've been talking about it for a couple of months now. If he ever gets the time, he wants me to get with him and help him either pick out something new or maybe build something for him. That's something me and him have talked about. Yeah, it seems like lately it's been getting worse for him, which sucks. Tell you
You just
what,
buy
man.
credit cards.
Wait, we talked the other night, man. To me, it sounded like his system was getting too hot.
Yeah. Well, he's had it for a while, and it's starting to just shit the bed on him. I should have sent him the Best Buy thing. Best Buy had a fucking hell of a deal, but it ends tonight at midnight. I don't know if he's got any how much cash he would have on hand, but if he can get the bestbuy.com before midnight and order something, they've had some really good prices on freaking new laptops for back to school.
Talking about D23 computer?
No, Kingpin.
Oh. Shit, you just get a loan from one of them Burger King girls. You know, Kingpin.
Yeah, but it would all be napkins that say IOU. I mean, that wouldn't work.
Can we just put it on Squib's credit card?
They don't want cash.
What was that, barbecue?
I just wondered if we could just put it on Squib's credit card.
Maybe. My daughter just ordered me a new 2-in-1 from Best Buy because mine got knocked down and broken and is not repairable easily. And
The hell is a 2-in-1?
You don't know what a 2-in-1
Like
is?
a
It's a
second
laptop that turns into a tablet, essentially. It's a regular
Oh,
laptop,
okay.
and you fold it in half, and it turns into a tablet.
That sounds hideous.
Oh, no, they're awesome.
You mean like a tablet that has an attachable keyboard?
No. It's a regular laptop. You know, a regular laptop, how you got the lid, you open the lid, and it's got your screen on there. This is a touchscreen laptop.
Touchscreen laptop, okay.
Yeah, but the screen goes a full 360 so that basically you invert it to where the keyboard is now the bottom and the screen is the top when it's in the closed position. So basically, and then you can use it like you would a tablet.
Rich people.
Is that like a
360? I feel like the
Microsoft
screen could only go
Surface?
180.
No, it would be 360. It would go in a
If
complete
it went
circle.
360, then it would close again.
No. Yeah, it does.
Yep.
It goes 360. It closes backwards. That's the best way to describe it. It closes backwards.
Is it similar to one of those like Microsoft
No, because the Surface is a tablet that you hook a keyboard into, and then they have the Surface Book, which is just a regular laptop. Let me find it. I'll find a picture and show you what I'm talking about.
So you had your daughter locked in the closet until she agreed to buy this?
No.
It would explain that screen.
She owed me a birthday and Father's Day gift, and this is how she decided she was going to go about it.
And she forgot about her other father's birthday gift?
She don't have another father, dude.
Oh, she does.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Is that why you keep sending my wife fake flowers, Rob? Is that what's going on?
Rich, I did not realize your daughter had dimples all over her face.
There's a reason she don't like me.
Did she call him the deadbeat outcast?
Maybe.
Wow.
But yeah. Let me see. You guys seeing this all right?
Yeah, it's a laptop.
Yep, it's a laptop. But you see how those hinges are? Let me scroll down to where it'll let me show you the other picture. It folds over. See, there's the keyboard at the bottom now. Now the screen's the other way. And it turns into a tablet. The keyboard is now underneath. That is a full 360, but it inverts the screen from the monitor.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Right.
I bet you this guy eats cheeseburgers with a fork and knife.
Probably eats his pizza that way too.
But these things come in like handy and stuff because you can set it up like that. Like if you're watching a video and you don't have to worry about the keyboard being in view, you can sit there and just watch a video on it with just the screen like right there. Like if you were watching it on a TV or something. It comes in handy, man.
What about pressing the keys? I feel like I would be pressing keys the whole time.
On screen, it has an on-screen keyboard.
I don't like it.
Be honest, your lazy boy has a toilet built in, doesn't it?
No, because I don't have a lazy boy.
No, his toilet is the lazy boy.
No, that was on Home Improvement. You guys remember when Tim the Toolman Taylor was renovating that bathroom, and they had the Lazy Boy toilet in the bathroom, and it was like everything was stainless steel, and he had like one of those Craftsman tool chests in there for instead of like a bathroom cabinet and stuff.
The best one you can get is a Ferguson, man. Did you learn anything from Al Bundy?
No, but honestly, these things are cool because it
I learned
actually
not to
acts.
be a shoe salesman.
I love my 2-in-1. I was pissed when it got busted because this thing is
He
extremely.
almost said he loves his Lazy Boy.
I don't have a Lazy Boy.
We heard that in your Freudian slip.
That's for poor people, not people like Rich. He's got a Gucci boy.
Also known as his buddy Winky.
What I got's a broken Ashley couch right now. They have a reclining mechanism broken. Gotta fix that.
Not to be confused with Bocce Boy. I know Rich ain't like that.
Although I do like playing bocce ball.
If you've never used a 2-in-1, you don't understand. But these things are extremely versatile and cool to have.
Just remember, if you buy an HP product now, you're actually just paying for one of their employees to travel out of state for an abortion.
Oh, whatever.
That's just about any company anymore.
But if you're buying a computer, you're really stuck because Microsoft said they would do it too. So one way or the other.
Yeah. Patriot. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could call that a transformer, sort of. It transforms from a laptop into a tablet.
Heard he's got a lot of other upgrades too, but you'd have to go to his fans only page for that.
Now, Squib asked for a link. I sent him the link, and he doesn't jump in. Yeah, see, Defense. I was scrolling back through the chat to catch up on the chat yep, Defense Dad says the same thing. Thought Squib was going to jump on, but yes, he asked for a link.
Squib chickened out.
Uh-huh. But, yeah, do we want to get to a topic? Because that was...
Well, he's sensationalizing the fact that he didn't get that email right away.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they were. There was one that was called the Transformer Patriot. You're right. I forget. I don't remember what brand it was, but there was a brand that was calling their 2-in-1s the Transformer. I think they got sued by Hasbro over it.
What's up, Patriot?
But Gary said, "I don't know. You could buy a Mac." But then he goes about it. That Apple probably does it too with the abortion thing. Yeah, and Apple doesn't make a 2-in-1 either. You'd have to get an iPad, and the iPad costs 2 to 3 times as much as what the 2-in-1 my daughter bought me does. So, well,
you can get a 2-in-1 in an Apple ass.
not that kind of sensational, Kingpin. That's not the kind of sensationalism we're talking about. But Kingpin wants us to get to our topic.
It's going to happen when the Mac Apple 3-way comes out.
Let's not even go there. That's all we need: a iPhone, screw in an iPad, screw in a AirBook or whatever the hell they call it. The Mac Air or the MacBook Pro. God, they could do a 4-way. iPhone, iPad, MacBook Air, and MacBook Pro.
We still talking computers?
I have no idea at this point.
I think I know how to get Squib in here. So, everybody, while we're waiting to discuss this amazing topic, what you should do is be sure to head on over to Squibload's channel and check him out. He's got all these great videos. He does a speaking Squibbish line. He has all these videos about coffee and making mixed drinks. It's like an adult playground over there. It's wonderful, and it's for everybody, and you are going to love Squibload's channel. Head on over to Squibload's channel today. And by the way, check out Squibload's Patreon, because Squibload needs help with money and credit card spending and stuff like that. He should be in any minute now.
The defense
Damn
that says,
Michigan guys.
yeah, defense that says four-way. Hey man, this is a family show. No, this is a legitimate business. I have you know, perfectly legitimate business.
Business?
The family has nothing to do with it.
Who's getting paid for this? Wait a minute.
I don't know. I sure as hell am.
4-way's okay if somebody don't mind waiting.
Well, I'll just shut up. I'll just shut
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I mean,
I have two arms for a reason.
you could be doing. Yeah, I'm going to shut up too. Rob's right. Discretion in this is the better part of valor.
Welcome, Mr. Squibload.
I told you guys it would work.
Uh-huh.
But come on, he was buried under those credit card bills. You had to give him a minute.
So, anyway, now that we've got all the ha-has up with us,
Oh shit!
as soon as I go to start one and talk about the topic, he goes. Ozzy out there. 4-way's a lot of work, he's been told.
I can hear that kitty cat again.
Come on back, Squib. Come on back.
You can do it.
In headphones,
We'll
I
play
cannot
night.
hear anything. So, if you do hear the cat in the background, it's news to me.
Squib's the man. Everybody should go buy a diesel. Ruff, ruff.
This is why you need to go and support Squibload on Patreon so he can get real internet.
Oh, he's probably at work. He walks from
Oh,
he walks
probably.
1 foot to his right or left, and he loses.
Oh no,
signal.
it's Sunday. He might be off today.
He works Sundays sometimes. So. Yeah, like Kingpin said, he's sure Squib's at work.
Good possibility.
So now, how come when Kingpin says it, it's a good possibility, but when I say it, I was, oh no, it's Sunday. He probably isn't working. I see how
Because
you.
I needed a second opinion.
Uh-huh.
Wait, you said it, Rich?
Huh?
I said you said it.
I said that Squib was probably at work, and then Barbecue said,
Oh,
"Nah, it's Sunday."
no, man. He might have the day off. And what did Kingpin say?
See, 2
Kingpin
for 2.
said that he's sure that Squib is at work, so Kingpin.
Yeah,
was
he's
agreeing
probably
with me.
working, man.
Yeah, see, I didn't see how these guys are. Everybody, see how these people are. Yeah, Ozzy said Squib had to open the plant tonight. I don't know if that plant closes the way Squib talks. I think they run 3 shifts. I think he's
Not
right,
the
so-
way modern vehicles break down.
Planned obsolescence.
Right, when you're calling that tow truck, you just think of Squib.
All right. So anyway, can we get serious now? Are we done with the haha, funny? Or are we, what?
We can
Well,
try.
We keep going until we get to 5-way, or we can move on to.
No, we're not Apple, Jason. We're not Apple. We don't go for that stuff.
They're just one cup, or
Yeah, let's not even go there either. Because then you'll have Vanessa Kitty out there telling us about street cones, and then they're really good. No, let's not do this. But anyway, Jason sent me an interesting video earlier today. You want to explain to everybody what that video was, Jason?
It was the newest video comes from God, Family, and Guns, and he was telling the story how the military is saying that they're going green, and they're concerned with all the lead that they're putting in the ground in their practice ranges, which I immediately thought, like, just dig the lead out of it and repurpose it, sell it to us, we'll make bullets out of it. But whatever. They're concerned of the lead they're putting in the ground, so they're switching and they're doing away with lead bullets. And it says they're gonna start using tungsten. And God Guns and God Family and Guns there, he was saying like uh, tungsten. The only reason they're doing that, it's because that's an armor piercing round. Which, okay, tungsten probably does, but they're saying they're switching over to armor piercing rounds, and people are applauding them for going green and all this and that. And he's hitting that they're not doing it to go green, they're doing it to make armor piercing ammo. But like I talked to you about, Rich, I think he could. Tungsten is like many, many, many times heavier than lead, heavier than steel. Plus,
Yes.
tungsten is extremely expensive. I mean, extremely expensive. Uh, if you made a tungsten bullet for a 5.56, and he made it the same shape, and he made it out of tungsten instead of lead, it would be so heavy you couldn't use it. The gun wouldn't shoot it. It would be it would be probably 10 times. Instead of a 55 grain bullet, you would have a 550 grain bullet. So that's not practically possible. But I'm sure they could have a tungsten tipped bullet that would probably have more penetrating power. But you just couldn't make a bullet 100% out of tungsten. You would have to have one hell of a gun and a rifle or whatever designed for that. Geez, I don't even know how short a lifespan the rifling would be in that in that gun. But it doesn't really add up altogether. Uh, I can believe a little front story about going green or this or that, but saying they're going green and switching to 100% tungsten bullet just doesn't seem right to me. First off, like, their bullet they're paying now, they're probably buying for 3 cents a piece. If they actually made a bullet that would work and made it out of tungsten, they would probably be $30 a piece. So there's like no way this is really can be real. You know what I mean? In my mind.
Yeah,
I could
there's
see it
also,
happening. Oh, sorry, Rich.
I was just going to say, there's also the added part that civilians can buy armor-piercing rifle rounds. It's armor-piercing pistol rounds that the law states we aren't supposed to have.
Yep.
Yeah, there's.
And as far as tungsten goes, compared to lead, I think tungsten it's double, if not 3 times the density. I got some tungsten fishing weights, and they're really nice because how dense they are. They're a lot smaller. So when you're doing any jigging or anything like that, if you're using a tungsten weight to punch down through lily pads and stuff, they're really nice because they don't have as much surface area. So uh, as far as hardness goes, I'm not sure about the hardness of tungsten. So the idea that it would be for armor piercing rounds, I'm not sure. Although, what the heck does it matter if the military's like, we're using tungsten to have armor piercing rounds anyways? Great. If the enemy's wearing body armor, I want my military to be able to take care of that threat still. But no, the way I could see this being implemented is, do you guys remember the Ruger ARX ammo? it was a polymer ammo that was infused with copper flake all through it. Now imagine making a polymer ammo, because one of the problems with the ARX ammo was for 9mm. I think it was still only like 90 grain bullet weight. Now imagine infusing that same polymer ammo with tungsten. That would definitely bring up that grain weight. And honestly, the ARX ammo, it didn't perform bad.
I think, isn't the classic armor piercing ammo, isn't it just Teflon tipped?
No, it's a steel. It's a steel. It's lead with a steel core and steel penetrating. Basically, you got a steel rod that goes through a lead bullet.
Yep.
But real quick, any of you guys have Artac's email? Because Victoria was asking for a link.
I don't know. Let me go look.
I don't think I do.
Yeah, I was looking and I don't seem to have it.
I think I got it, but I'd probably get lost trying to get it to you.
Well, just forward her the link. Just forward it to him, Rob. Just forward the link that I sent you.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, but that story just had things in it. I just maybe don't want to believe. But on the other hand, I'm sure the government, that was their real letter, and I'm sure they say one thing. But like I said, the price for tungsten is just enormous, especially compared to lead. It's not practical. They would be making tungsten bullets a long time ago if it was practical and cost effective. This could just be a scam for them to say, hide some money. Say that, we used to spend, 10 million on lead bullets, but now tungsten costs more, so we spent 100 billion this time. It could be just part of hiding money, because tungsten is so expensive. That's why you don't see it in too much stuff. Plus, it's so hard, and it's just not easy to work with. It's not easy to machine a product out of it. It's like a rare earth mineral. It has to be mined and produced. It's like 10,000 times more expensive than lead. So it just doesn't seem practical in any way.
Well, and here's the added kick in the pants and why this is such sensationalism from that channel. The round he's describing isn't even for the AR-15. It's for the new rifle that's in 6.8. What the Army proposed was a copper bullet with a tungsten penetrator.
Tell Victoria that I sent the link to the Artec and daughter's Instagram.
Okay, well, so she's still out there. She just heard you say it. So.
All right. So
now, Rachel's still out there, possibly polymer jacketed tungsten rod. Yeah, that could be another thing they could do.
That's what I was thinking, because, on what Jason's saying, well, how much were they paying before, all that. But think about how cheap a polymer bullet would be to make. Now, granted, throw in the tungsten, which tungsten isn't cheap. I mean, it's not god awful, but when I was buying tungsten fishing weights over lead from the same manufacturer, stuff like that, you're talking probably a $2 or $3 difference. And when you're talking about the amount of tungsten versus lead, it's definitely a higher price jump. And when you're talking about doing that for millions, if not billions of rounds, there's going to be a cost there. But I think a lot of that cost would be mitigated with polymer jacket.
Yeah, real quick, I want to say good evening to Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog out there. The Air Force has landed.
Bulldog.
Gonna say I don't really believe it. I don't think the military would just switch over like that. I mean, there's it's not like they're just switching over. That round covers more than just one gun. You know what I mean? It's a huge overtaking in a sense. And then with any, we have NATO, just like you say, the barrel life. I mean, is supply going to be able to keep up with that extra pressure
Well,
as
again, if you're
far as it
going,
on a grand scale? I mean, it seems like they're reaching. I guess you know what I mean, because you're not just talking about today, but you got to have a certain amount of stockpiles set aside too. So that's it seems like a hell of a lot if it was going to be like across the board through all the branches as far as like an infantry weapon or your first job being a rifleman, everybody getting issued one. I just don't see it.
You know,
Well,
it's
there's
you got to understand that everything now is democratic controlled. It's the left, it's the woke side, including the military. I mean, we're focusing on us being gun guys. We're talking about the ammo, the bullet. Can you actually do this? What are they talking about? But the purpose of their public announcement that they had there was to say that they are going green. They want you to know how great they are saving the earth. They are fully committed to the going green agenda. They just want patted on their back. They want the recognition to be woke, and they're just giving you lip service, man. I think that's all it is. And like I said, at the end of it, I bet they're just hiding money. They're just shifting money around.
well, like I said in the email back to you when he sent me that link, that guy's been wrong so many times. That's why I unsubbed to his channel. But real quick, want to welcome our tech and daughters. I don't know if it's him or Victoria, but evening to whichever one of you it is.
It's both of us.
Okay.
oh snap!
What's up?
So to get late here on the Tungsten conversation, the SS-109s have tungsten penetrators already and has had them. We've had AP rounds made from tungsten since World War II.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nothing new. A complete bullet made out of tungsten, not really very feasible. Economical, maybe, because we have so many states that produce tungsten, and yet we buy it because, like everything else, we usually just buy every damn thing we need instead of producing it ourselves. But barrel life would be 3,000 rounds at max, so that's not economical whatsoever. So,
But again, that's if you're going with a solid projectile made out of tungsten.
right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why you would not do that.
Given the weight of tungsten, that would not be feasible with standard load workups. I mean, they'd have to rework loads for everything. So I really think it would be a tungsten core with probably a polymer jacket, which at that point, you're talking about polymer going down the barrel. That's going to probably extend barrel lives.
That's going to build up in the barrel. Polymer will. So that's not feasible either, because the barrel's going to get hot from the gunpowder. So that's not a good idea.
Yeah,
so like it is right now, and you can Google it, the steel penetrator that the SS-109 rounds, the NATO designation now, has, and the 62 grain green tips. That's what those are. They're inside already. They got a copper nickel bullet. Only way you could do anything that would be like green would be just a solid copper jacket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, if they do it where it's a tungsten rod with a copper jacket around the rod, that would be the only way I could see economically being feasible, and it wouldn't do as much damage to the barrel by a long shot.
Right, exactly. Because we're not going to. The military will never go to the hollow points or anything like that because the Geneva Convention.
It's not the Geneva Convention. It's
the Hague. The Hague. Yeah, the Hague.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the United States never signed off on it, and it was never put through the Senate for approval either.
Right. We won't.
Technically speaking, it doesn't apply to the U.S., and you've already had the Army talking about switching to 9mm hollow points for the handguns.
That's who in the Army?
Procurement branch.
Oh, they're just talking out their ass.
Yeah. And special forces are already using Hollow.
Special forces gets a break. They
It's
do
whatever they want.
They
Yeah.
get exactly. That's a whole different ball of wax there. But we're
Yeah.
talking about big army, no. Because it would, I mean, it could be feasible if they did do it. Then that means everybody else is going to do it, and then automatically, you can never hurt anybody if they're wielding any type of body armor. Because what does hollow points do? They expand.
Yeah. And most of Europe signed on except for Russia. The only two countries in the European sphere that didn't sign on to it were the United States and Russia. The two biggest countries in that, this section of the world, that, if you want to call it the West, whatever you want to call it, that didn't sign on to the Hague Convention were the Soviet Union and the United States. Which means that even if the Soviet Union had Russia, it wouldn't be applicable to Russia anymore anyway, because the Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore, and Russia's a separate country now.
Yes and no, that because they still adhere to the START treaty. So
But
it depends really on how
do they really? I mean, there's been how many reports have come out of Russia that they're increasing their nuclear arsenal? So are they really still adhering to it?
I don't see how they can increase it when we buy all their uranium.
Oh no, they bought. Don't you remember Hillary sold a bunch of our uranium to them when she was Secretary of State?
Yeah, but then they gave it to Iran.
Not all of it.
Tungsten maybe be something more like special purpose or something, because as far as penetrating rounds, the rule of thumb is you lose accuracy when you're putting coring around like that, in a sense. So if the whole round was tungsten, maybe for special purpose, more of a long range penetration, maybe in a smaller package, that would that be something feasible, or maybe what they're speaking of? Or are they talking about every soldier?
I don't know. Go ahead.
At the moment, that letter, the way I took it, they weren't really talking about the battlefield. They were saying their practice ranges and all the ammo is contaminating the earth.
Oh,
so in their mind, they want a tungsten armor piercing bullet to use at the practice range to be green and save the planet.
Good.
If that's what they're talking about, and then they can go to just they want to get rid of the lead, because that's what they're talking about is the lead. So they could go to an all copper bullet. They could go to a copper nickel bullet, and
go to powdered metal.
Huh?
They're starting to make developments in powdered metal.
Oh yeah.
I saw
they can even do
a private company that's doing that.
Well, they've been using powdered metal for years and things. I mean,
I used to work in a factory. And a machine shop, and I made lots of stuff for the automotive industry and other industries that was powdered metal. But I watched.
Let's hear you say that.
I watched a company was getting their patents in order and getting their process finalized, but those bullets were devastating. Now, they wouldn't do anything to body armor, but when they would just hit like a hog or a deer, that powdered metal turned back to powder, but little tiny micro fragments of metal traveling, 1,000 feet a second, it just liquefies flesh. They were flipping hogs, full-size hogs, over dead instantly with 9mm. Those rounds were devastating. They were dropping deer instantly to the ground, but there's nothing left. They just actually liquefied the flesh whenever it hit. So they were devastating rounds, like maybe self-defense for us on the street, but for military use, no way. They wouldn't penetrate basic body armor or anything. They would just explode on impact. But on flesh, It was just absolutely liquefying. That's all you could really say. It didn't like tear the flesh, tear it all up, stretch it, tear it, disintegrate. It liquefied it.
Now,
The
our blind Marine Corps friend out there in the chat has a theory about it too. He says it's nothing to do with green or economical. He thinks it's when China shuts off the lead, it's so that they have options.
military arms did a whole gel test and cover and hard test on those powdered rounds that you mentioned, Jason, before.
I did a
Who
wall
cares if
test.
China?
Sorry, go ahead, Swift.
Okay. I guess we may have lost Squib again. So, Rob?
Oh, that's all I had to say is I did a video with him as well, a wall test. So I just didn't realize I cut in on Squib. Slight delay. It happens, buddy. It happens.
You did it on purpose. Don't lie.
Yeah, Tim S. says that the lead mine in Missouri was closed down during Obama's administration.
Who cares if we don't get lead from China?
Yeah, I'd rather have American lead.
Yeah, well, thanks to the EPA and Obama and whatnot, it's not as easy to get lead from the ground here in the U.S. anymore.
Yeah, I think 2013 they shut down the last smelter.
Mm-hmm.
Shutting down the smelter has nothing to do with the supply of lead. That's about the process. There's this information that's been going around that there are no more lead lines in America.
Very, very few. Nowhere near as many as there were, and they're not allowed to open more.
Yeah, there's a few, but their lead production is really for other consumptions, for batteries we make here, different things, different materials, different ingredients. There's really not any lead supply for bullets. That's through America. I've saw the bullet companies talk about how they have to source all their lead overseas.
Right, but once it gets here,
we do
they get
have
a lot.
lead.
They get a lot from recycling. There are still lead mines in America, and as long as it's a strategic material, they have to have a way to get it, or they have to have a contingency to start getting it domestically and not rely on a foreign supplier. There's a lot of bad information going around that, oh, we get everything from China and we can't make it here in America. Nothing exists, and there are certain federal laws that have been in place for a long time about certain things having to be in place strategically, so for our national defense that have to be provided for domestically, to the point where the government will pay for this stuff to stay open just so we have access to it. I'm not saying we don't buy anything from overseas. I'm not saying, but I mean, for example, when they decided to go with the M9 service pistol, they didn't have them made in Italy and shipped over here. They told them you want this contract, you have to build a factory in America. And it has to do with national defense. So as long as lead is a strategic material, there will be some source for it domestically.
Yes, there are, like I stated, there are a handful of mines in the U.S. for that, but they are not allowed to open more. The ones that are here are the only ones that are going to be here, and they closed down a bunch of them. We do not.
Okay, let me try this again in English, Rich. If there was a fucking war and they needed lead, they'd open a fucking mine.
They're not going to reopen the mines. They kept up enough mines to keep up with military demand, is what I'm telling you. They're not going to open more to meet civilian demand.
That's not what I said. If you shut the fuck up, you might hear what I had to say.
No, if you shut the fuck up, you can understand what the hell I'm telling you. It's my show, Squib, not yours. Now, what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted was that there is plenty for the military supply, which goes to your point that we have to have the strategic amount. Yes, we do, and they meet that from domestic mining now. What they're not going to do and what the law says they can't do, thanks to the Obama administration, is open up any more lead mining in the United States. So no, you will not see an increase in mining in the United States. You will only see what is here now. It's just like the hemp farms, where the hemp farms are selling all their goddamn supply just about to the government, because the government also regulated that after World War I, when they realized, hey, you know what? We need to keep control of this hemp farming industry for national security.
Hey man, can't we just recycle all the lead paint from the windows and shit?
I don't know, man. That would take a lot of distilling of the paint to get that down to that bare lead.
Well, how can you get the lead out of the people that's already ate it?
I don't know, man, but it might help the population too.
Yeah, like you said, Rich, there's only 5 mines opened up at this time, and they won't be no more opened up unless there's an act of Congress to do so.
So that happened.
Well, it's not like me and Squib haven't told each other to go fuck ourselves before.
At least once a year, you know.
If it's not me and Squib, it's me and Barbecue, like Barbecue said last night.
Last year,
that was my job.
Oh, you haven't seen the arguments that me and Squib have had in the past?
Oh no, I have.
And then like a week later, we're laughing about it. So
I don't know, man. I think Squib might be driving to your house right now.
Nah, he's at work. He can't. They're not going to let him leave the plant. He's locked in.
No, I don't know. Screwed up me pretty mad. Have you seen the price of diesel lately?
He's gonna grab some tungsten drill bits at work, shove it down the barrel.
See
here,
see
if his tungsten works or not.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't buy a new car, man.
Yeah, because you'll never get that $5,000 back.
Yep, we lost Squibby.
Well, clearly you hurt his feelings. Way to go, Dick.
Maybe the people at work did an intervention.
No, man. He just got him fired up.
No, it's like we were talking about earlier. Squib moves 1 foot to the left or right, and he loses his internet signal.
Yeah, I'd say he doesn't even have an avatar now. But he's definitely having signal issues. That's the way he's dropping in and out.
Him and his damn poor service.
No, he basically works in a concrete cube. What do you expect? Tim says, check your drive for lead nails. I don't know how well a lead nail would work. Hit it with a hammer and you bend the damn thing.
Not if you use a lead hammer.
No, then you'd be screwed on both ends.
Well, no, seriously though, the paint and stuff. Talking about recycling, yeah, it's not as common as it used to be. But I stumble across houses all the time that have to have lead dealt with. Nobody talks about it till you go to sell a house, and then they're like, "Oh shit, they got to do something." You know what I mean? So, is there a form with powdered metals? I mean, recycle paint chips.
I don't know. I don't honestly. The way paint is, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you could break it down where you could harness the lead from paint.
No, I don't think you can. Because when we closed those plants down here in Cleveland, there's a little bit of lead paint in the actually in the windows, like in the paint around the windows, because they were like done in the 30s.
Leaded glass, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, not just the glass, but the paint itself had lead in it. And the levels were, believe it or not, so low that the EPA said you don't have to do nothing with it. You can just dispose of it normally. But Whirlpool went and spent $1 million on shit they didn't have to remove, which was just funny. But yeah, they went by and suck them all out and put them in a special container. So I asked them about the recycle part, and he said there wasn't enough there to get anything out of. Just enough to, maybe cause brain damage if your kid was sucking on the window pane.
Company's not going to do it unless they're forced to by the government or they can find profit in it. So if there was such a demand for lead and they found a cost-effective way to extract it from old paint, I guess first collect old paint and then extract it because it was worth so much, somebody would find a way and they would do it. Or if the government regulated it and said, you have to do this or else, unless they grease some senator's palm to get out of it, they'll just go ahead and do it, but they'll do the most half-assed job they can so it looks good on paper.
Well, it's just an idea. Just trying to save the world,
Suck out the lead, eat a salad, right, Rob?
Well, we could just extract it from all the Chinese toothpaste.
Or crayons.
Yeah. This
Okay.
They're going to be smuggling lead in through using toothpaste.
You bring up Chinese crayons, but it's kind of interesting. You're there at the store, and they got Chinese crayons for $1 and American crayons for $1.25. Why wouldn't somebody just bring the extra 25 cents and buy American?
Nah, dude. American's like $3 or something. But I always buy the American.
Well, it's like
Even the quality of wood is shit with those Chinese ones. It's like sponge board, OSB shit. It's not even OSB. It's like MDF particle board glued stuff. Like, sorry.
Is Crayola American made? I don't go and check the crayons.
Yeah, they were. I don't know if they
Hold
still
on.
are. Some of the Crayola stuff was made in England.
Well, Squib's the former Marine. Now, if you guys get the Chinese-made crayons, is that like having Chinese food?
Former? Is there such a thing?
Oh,
I knew
man.
that was coming.
Barbecue just insulted Squib and he doesn't even realize what he said.
Called you a crayon eater.
Hey,
I called him a former crayon eater.
I never said former. Did I say former?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, my bad. I know the creed. Once a Marine, always Marine. I use the former, just meaning not active.
All right, Crayola is made in Brazil. At least my colored pencils. Damn it.
Where those aren't made because
colored pencils. You mean
But my pencils are actually made in America. So I try.
Crayola's made in Brazil. Taurus is made in Brazil. Are you going to stop buying Taurus?
Never started.
Those Brazilian chicks are hot. What's the problem?
That's right.
They're
a lot like you. They're a lot
Careful,
like you,
Rob.
Rob. They're all mulattoes.
Some of those Brazilian chicks ain't chicks.
Yeah,
No,
Squib,
that's-
your
Man, you
question-
didn't see the look I just got.
Go back to Squib's question about why somebody would buy the quarter cheaper crayons from China over the U.S.-made crayons. Well, it's like, wait, you know how they say grams equal ounces, ounces equal pounds? Well, pennies equal dollars, dollars equal hundreds of dollars.
Oh, that's a hot button for Squib.
But I think the big thing is just people aren't typically looking at where the heck their crayons are made. I mean, I'm sorry, but is it really lost on anybody that the Marine is the one that brought up crayons?
Well, we may be just talking crayons, but this is a problem that's happened in America over the last generations. Every time you look at something, every time you want something, every time you buy something, the first thing that comes into mind is the price. There used to be a time when we had quality in this country, and good jobs, built products, made in the USA, dependable, and lasted here. But everything changed. I mean, like when I was a kid, if it was made in USA, you were fine. If something was made in Japan, it was a little cheaper. It wasn't as good as America. But if it was made in China, it was 100% total junk. You didn't even want that, whether it be a toy, whether it be tools, or anything. If it was China, it was just flea market, gas station, trade show junk, right? But over the years, everybody got so like addicted to they want just the cheapest cheap. They want the cheapest they can get. They quit caring if it was made in America. It was all cheap. And they don't realize quality or craftsmanship or loyalty at all. It's the bottom line was cheap. Now China has took over everything. And companies that you used to trust in their name brands, they're all owned by China. And once they got their hands on the whole package, then they took stuff that was like a name brand, let's just say DeWalt or something, and you're paying more, you're expecting a certain amount of quality with that. But now it's made exactly at the same place as the 1999 Harbor Freight cordless drill is. The same products. So you have, it's not like the open economics and everything will be great and competition will drive the business. There's no more competition because China bought everything. So now all you're left with is poor quality, and you're paying more for it now, but you're getting less quality, and it's made in China. I mean, 99% of everything we got, because we let ourselves be that way. We were concerned with price and price only, and going to our shopping malls and price, cheapest. Somehow being the best for durability or quality, that got put second place to being best is the cheapest I can get. And we accept it. And people we will defend it. Oh, well, it's okay because I only paid $1 for it. Oh, I'll never pay $5 for that. No. I can get it for $1. Doesn't matter in your mind if it lasts 1 month when my $5 piece of something would last 10 years. It doesn't matter. You're mad and you're offended at the $5 thing. Oh, no. I won't pay that much. So we're all victims, basically, of greed in the long run. But that's why China has everything over this country. That's why our choices are limited and why our quality is limited. And now we can't bring back business to America. We can't bring back quality here because we cannot match the price from China. And apparently the consumers only care about price. So basically the manufacturing in this country is doomed. It is doomed until somehow people want quality and durability over price. And that's harder to do. It's too easy just to want cheap. So I think that's just we'll be in a steady decline.
Well, back in the days you were talking about, like when you had your choices, American, Japan, or China, that's back in the days when credit was a bad thing. Just a coincidence. I'm just stating. Yeah. And now everybody's cheap ass when 70 some odd percent of Americans are in debt wants the cheapest thing. Well, they go on TikTok and all this shit showing all their shiny stuff they truly can't afford. Just saying.
I wasn't aware that credit was
Culture
ever a bad
change.
thing. I mean, I know somebody can mismanage their finances, but credit's been around forever. I mean, since there was a barter system, there was credit, store credit, all kinds of things. It's how you manage it. What really happened was corporate America decided to outsource to save pennies, and that was getting people, bonuses. It was getting a promotion. It was helping them save their jobs. These are white collar people that made decisions at the top to do things to save pennies. And as they did it, they started closing down the plants in America and getting rid of these jobs. Back in the day, the husband could work at a job that paid well on 40 hours. The wife could stay home and take care of the kids and they could afford to live a decent, safe, middle class lifestyle and enjoy life. And they put money back into the economy because when the new color TVs came out, they got a color TV. If their dishwasher broke, they got a new dishwasher. Whatever, and that kept jobs going. They traveled because airfare was cheap and things like that. But this was all American made, and these people were putting money back into the same economy they were benefiting off of. But as these jobs dried up, suddenly there's no more jobs with pensions. Suddenly now the wife has to go get a job, and who's there watching the kids? Because you can't make it on one income anymore. Used to be you could make it on one income just fine. I mean, you weren't living rich, you weren't poor. Middle class was not a bad thing back in the day. Now it's almost like people are offended by that bullshit. But it changed. So corporate America did it. Then the average person started doing it. They go, hey, we got to have two jobs to make ends meet. We don't have the money. I don't have a retirement coming, things like that. And they started doing what corporate America did. Well, we'll buy this cheap stuff. And all that did was create more job loss and send more money overseas. Now, there have been some times where corporate America or the government has decided to bring that stuff back because of quality or for strategic reasons or things. I've actually witnessed it where they've gone, we are losing our ass trying to make this shit in India. Bring it back to America. Doesn't happen often, but it is something that does happen. It's too bad there isn't a trend, though, where it just kept going and going and going, and we got those good old days back. Just imagine how the American household, the American family would change. Think about how our society would be if we could go back to the day where one person stayed home with the kids and one person worked and they had a retirement to look forward to. They didn't have to dump money in a 401k and all this other bullshit. I mean, those were the days.
Well, the problem is how society's changed. And that could still be done today, but people want to have 2-3 cars. They want to have cable television. They want to have high-speed internet. They want to have the newest cell phone, and how each kid's got to have a cell phone, and we got to have a computer, and we got to have all these other electronics that we don't need. We got to spend way too much money on food.
Different TV accounts
out. The problem is we just spend in the first place on a bunch of stuff we don't need.
Yeah, wants and needs are big problems. Priorities. Like I say that shit every time I pass. Like the food banks are out of control, man. Like you see a huge line around here, especially today, Sunday. It's a damn food bank. Like they're like going around the block, man. Like and all these people, all of them. Well, not all of them with cars got newer cars than me, and they're over there collecting food while I'm off to go shoot. Like, yeah, it's priorities, man.
That's right. I have seen Whirlpool did bring microwave production back to the U.S. 2 years ago from Sweden and brought it back to here in Cleveland, Tennessee. So it does happen occasionally, but not as much as it needs to happen. And you're right, Rob. Is like, I see welfare Betty over here with 6 kids driving a brand new Escalade, and here I am driving a 2009 Tahoe, but I'm
Yep.
paying on
And
a
she's
house.
laughing at you. Well,
I know
she's
she's
taking
laughing because I'm
pictures
paying
with
for
a
her shit.
$1,000 phone and shit. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
You're like, what the hell?
I picked the wrong occupation.
Yeah, it drives me mad sometimes, but you can't let those things get to you.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Whirlpool's out of business here
Where?
where I'm at.
Where's
Real
that?
quick,
They got
well-
the whole factory almost completely shut down. All the people are laid off, and saying by the end of the year it just be gone.
What
real
did they
quick,
make there?
Bulldog's got to take off. He says migraines are acting up on him. Man, he picked the wrong chat to have that happen. Yeah, take care of yourself, Bulldog. Get some rest, man. Hopefully that
Easy, man.
subsides.
Yeah,
What
I
do
think they make
what do they-
main washers and dryers here.
Oh, I'll see. The one here in where I'm at is the brand new plant that they built in 2011. And we only make I shouldn't say we anymore. They only make like the Gladiator and the high dollar model ends is the only ones they make here. They're all electric ranges too.
Whirlpool here's been the big employer in this town for 60 years. It's all we got. When they close up and leave, this town's doomed to never recover. We're done. We're done. They've had problems in the past, and I don't know. It got bad lately since COVID, and they complaining that somebody from China is breaking the law by selling washers and dryers at below cost just to put them out of business, and they're trying to sue, but they just, I don't know, they can't keep the doors open.
Really?
They're done. They laid everybody off. It started the layoffs like, oh, this is only going to be 2 weeks, and then it just went to no, we don't know when, and now they're getting offers for somebody to buy the company. Toshiba or somebody wants to buy them.
Whirlpool?
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. Whirlpool is like the last time I did my business paper on them. Now this was 5 years ago. They gross $17 billion as a company globally, and after the balance sheets were all paid off and the stock split and the stockholders were paid off, they still were in the black by $231 million. And they sold the old Maytag. See, it used to be Maytag here in Cleveland and Magic Chef. And what they did was they bought the Maytag and Magic Chef out. So LG wouldn't buy it. That's why they bought it here. And then they built that new plant here. There's no way that they're bleeding that much money that they're willing to sell the whole company. I just don't see that. Maybe they're willing to sell that factory because that's what happened down here is that the whole 90 acres that the old Whirlpool plant, Maytag, whatever you want to call it, set on. The people that I work for currently now bought it. That's Phoenix investors, and they're into warehousing. And Whirlpool turned around and ended up renting 2 of the buildings back from us. So maybe it's just the washer and dryer branch, but like we used to make the Maytag ovens here, and they were gas, and they sent that production equipment to Brazil 2 years ago, and they're currently operating a 1 million square foot oven facility here now. In that new plant.
To be fair, I buy and install a lot of appliances for people, and honestly, it seems like all of them are crap. At least as far as standard stuff you're buying from a normal appliance store. I mean, I'm not talking commercial grade, but $700, $800,000 ranges. They're all flimsy as hell. They work, they do the job, but none of them last like they should. I mean, you guys probably familiar with stoves growing up that probably lasted damn near a lifetime. I had a Lady Kenmore dryer my dad bought my mom, I think when I was born or something, and the damn thing still works. But appliances now, they're all just made shitty. I don't know if it's trying to keep up with other people, other companies, but they're shooting themselves in the foot in the end.
I can tell you,
I don't mind paying more for some shit I can trust.
Right.
Something I can go get a part for, or something that ain't a big freaking deal. I don't mind. But
the problem is that they outsource here, and I've seen it. And like the main things that fail, and you probably see this, Rob, of all, is the damn circuit boards.
Yeah, the electronics. So, for the last year or two, I've been telling people, if you don't want problems, I mean, it sounds crazy, but get the simple old knobs. It's just cheaper, easier to fix. You can get your stuff quicker. So it seems like all the electronics seem to be a problem nowadays.
Even the ones that are just knobs have all that electronic circuit boards and shit in it. Instead of a push button, it's a knob. Does the same damn thing.
Right.
It's not like the old school knobs.
Nope.
You're probably correct, but it's still a simpler, cheaper system.
No, it's not. It really isn't, Rob. It's really not. It's just all it is a different interface. It's the exact same circuit boards. Instead of
Exactly.
being button telling the circuit board what to do, you're turning a knob and telling that circuit board what to do.
He's absolutely right. It's plug and play, is what it is. It's you can use the same circuit board. It just depends on where your what interface you have. You got a knob or you got
Bullshit. It's not like that. It still takes points. It's my show, damn it. God.
Yeah,
If they make it last forever, then they are shooting themselves in the foot. If there isn't new manufacturing going on, then manufacturing will shut down. Then when it was supposed to last me 100 years thing dies after 30 years and there's nobody making it anymore, I'm not saying you should buy something that costs a lot of money and you get a week out of it or a year out of it. But nobody makes something that's totally indestructible. I know somebody out there says Glock's indestructible, but nobody makes it something that is indestructible. You might have a lifetime warranty on it, and even that's questionable. If the company goes out of business, then what? But if there wasn't a demand for replacement stuff, new stuff, then manufacturing wouldn't keep going. And the manufacturing that is still in America, that's the backbone of our economy. Nothing else. All these other people that aren't in manufacturing think that their job feeds the economy, but it's really manufacturing that doesn't.
Aren't we supposed to be going green? Isn't that like the new biggest thing? The military, everybody? Wouldn't it be a lot greener if we didn't have to throw all our shit away within 3 years?
Good point, Rob.
Well, I mean, if you keep buying the stuff made in China, it is only going to last 3 years. But still, I mean, I'm not talking. I guess there's a reasonable amount of time you should expect something to last. And sometimes I think some people have higher expectations. Man, I paid $5 for this. I'd better get 25 years out of it. Not necessarily, man.
Yeah,
Well,
white goods.
It was brought up this morning, Kirby. I think Kirby vacuums this morning in Gary's chat, I believe. Yeah, I got a friend that's still running one of those. The thing's probably older than him, and it still works. I mean, did that hurt Kirby's business or whatever you call it there? Maybe. But talk about brand loyalty. Like, shit, I'm telling you about it now because it still works. Like, I wish I had one.
You wouldn't buy one, dude. Have you ever priced one? Do you know what they cost?
Oh, hell no. But I've gotten a free carpet cleaning.
Okay, because you could literally go down to Walmart and buy a brand new vacuum every year and throw it away, whether it was good or bad or not, and probably still not come completely to the price of a Kirby.
I've been buying a vacuum every couple of years.
But no, I'm saying literally go out and buy a new vacuum every year. Just pitch it. Right, you can get a vacuum at Walmart for $80, okay, and it'll work just fine. And every year, just throw it away. It would take you like 30 years to come up with the cost of a Kirby. Now that Kirby might last 30 years, or you might be able to get parts for it for 30 years. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. But the reason most people don't buy those things is they look at the price and they go, heck no. And I get it. When I was talking about the crayons that were 25 cents more than the foreign crayons, I was being serious. And somebody else said, no, they're $3. Not in every case. There are some things that are made in America that are literally just a little bit more money than the foreign stuff, and people don't care. To save 5 cents? Oh, because it adds up. Okay, that's great. Well, you just shot yourself in the foot because now you're taking money out of our economy, and then you wonder why there aren't any good jobs out there. There's not a lot we can do about corporate America other than boycott them. There's not a whole lot we can do when they make those decisions that they benefit and the rest of us suffer. But when we do it to ourselves, we have nobody but to blame but ourselves.
I am not a Trump guy. You guys know that. I'm not anti-Trump, but I never jumped on that Trump bandwagon like some other people did. But one of the things I always
got his tattoo.
What's that?
I said you got his tattoo. Who you trying to fool?
No, that was Kingpin that got the Trump tattoo.
Oh.
But no, one of the things I did like about Trump was the tariffs. It's hard for any country, let alone our own, to compete with slave labor, and that's what's happening in some of these other places like China.
If you guys remember, I mean, we were talking about Apple earlier, but during the Trump administration, Apple said they were going to bring back manufacturing to the United States. As soon as Biden took office, they decided they were changing their mind on that, not bringing back anywhere near as much of the production as they said they were going to.
Yep. And the best part is, didn't Apple say it would only cost like $20 more per iPhone to produce in the U.S.?
Yeah, I don't remember.
In China. I thought I heard them.
They may have. I
could be
just
wrong.
don't remember. Yeah,
Wait,
you may be right on that.
$20 an iPhone, people wouldn't even notice that.
No.
When the next one rolls out,
Rob would. He'd lose his shit over it.
Rob doesn't buy iPhones. Rob buys the cheap 3-year-old Samsungs that are called the A instead of the S.
Hold on, he did a video about his new phone.
It's the
Rob's
FE,
phone
okay?
says Samsung on it now. I could have swore it still said Nokia.
No, it says FE. It's the fan edition, all right?
Shit, he's got
But
an old Motorola god dang flip
extra
phone from
20 bucks.
1994.
An extra $20 is ridiculous because they're already jacking the shit out of you for those phones.
Yeah.
You know it. Like you know I'm right. Like they're not worth it. The markup and everything. And then as soon as you get it, like 6 months later, they got the next best one that's got all the bugs fixed on the one you just freaking bought. Blah 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 blah. They ain't worth that kind of money. It's just like the average brand new truck worth 40, 50 grand. Like, just ain't worth it.
No, see, you got it wrong. See, they actually make the phones worse. My wife, when we both had the Galaxy, when we both had the Galaxy S9, we didn't have a single problem. My wife got the S21, and she had to send it in for repair because there was a known flaw with it that the damn things would cook themselves to death.
Hey man, you always giving me a hard time calling me.
No, I thought I heard Rob say this year that he got a new phone. He was out shooting videos for his channel with his new, he said the word new, N-E-W phone. Yeah, you telling me it's a 3-year-old phone?
No, it's brand new.
Well, they just said that you were buying 3-year-old phones.
No, it wasn't 3 years old.
No, I was making a joke because if you look
like
at
a
Samsung,
year old now, but at the time it might have been maybe, I don't know, 6 months out, I think, or something. So
yeah, but Squid missed the joke on Samsung. Samsung takes basically 2-3-year-old technology from the prior generation. Like right now they got the S22s out. So if you get the A53, that's an S. Was that an S20? Yeah, I think it would have been the S20. So it's basically 3-year-old technology that they're putting into the newer A series phone, which is the lower tier Samsung phone.
So can I derail the chat for a second?
Yeah, it's been derailed multiple times.
Cool. Steering away from cell phones. Squib and New York both have Grip 6 belts. How are those for an EDC belt? Like if I was going to carry my 1911 on it.
The Core Essential? Dude, they're awesome.
No.
I love my Core Essential belt.
I hate Core Essentials.
See, the difference between Core Essential and Grip 6 is that Core Essential is made overseas, and Grip 6 is made in America with all American components.
Burn.
Mine says made in USA on it.
I turned down Core Essentials when they tried to give me the free belt to evaluate and the free one to give away because they said that they assemble them here, but they source the stuff from overseas. So I guess you could say it's made in USA because it's assembled. But
mine is made out of U.S. sourced leather. I don't have the webbed one. I have the leather one, and it's U.S. sourced leather.
I told the guy, I said,
China, bro.
I said I might still be willing to review it, but I would like maybe some samples of the materials or something like that. And that was when they were just like, you know what, forget it. I'm like, all right. And then I just went and bought a belt myself. There's so many people out there making belts. I mean, take your pick, spin the wheel and get a belt. American made, foreign made, has steel in it, doesn't have steel, clicks, it doesn't click, you have to cut it. You don't have to cut it. It's leather, it's not.
I was going to say my Hanks belt, I absolutely love, but I haven't worn BDUs in several years. One, because I was super fat and at one point, and anything but shorts just seemed like too much work.
At one point?
Yeah, at one point. say I'm not nearly as super fat as I once was. Hell, I've lost what almost 35 pounds this year already. So, but now, I'm back down to a more manageable weight, and I'm getting right around that pant size where buying a new pair or a couple new pairs of BDUs isn't going to be a big deal, because even if I lose a little bit more, I'm not going to lose that much more on my waist. So it's not like I'm going to lose so much where I, have to replace them. And, buying good BDUs, those are freaking expensive. So, I've been holding off, but I was like, frick yeah, I'm getting me some BDUs again. But I was looking at the Grip 6 to be a, BDU belt, because like I said, I like my Hanks belts, but those are large leather belts, and if I'm just going to the range or something, I'd much rather have just a BDU belt on.
Well, the Grip 6 belts, I'll give you my opinion in a sense. You're talking about what, open carrying in 1911 with that?
Yep.
Okay. I was going to say, I think it would work, but I don't think it's actually truly ideal. So, and I'll tell you why. Just because the way it loops together or the way you fasten it, it puts a little bit of tension on it, and that's what keeps it from sliding, which it does quite well. But I think, the added weight of a 1911 and whatnot, it will work, but I think the belt itself would probably wear out within a couple of years, or you'd have a pretty bad crease. And I'm just being honest, because honestly, I love the belts, but a 1911 is a heavy gun. So let's just call it what it is. So, and it's not a steel reinforced belt or anything like that, which honestly I'm not a fan of anyway. But
well, that's what I was really worried about.
Yeah,
I don't think they were.
But it'll probably be more comfortable than a lot of other belts because
Yep.
of the way it does connect. Having that extra weight pulling on you, you're not going to feel it so much right up, underneath the belly or in the front like that. So, like,
yeah, that's what I
didn't realize that was a thing until I tried the Grip 6 belt, and damn, it's a lot more comfortable. So, I think for normal, as people would say, plastic fantastic guns or whatever, I'd recommend it. I think you'll get years out of it fine. You're going to get a little crease where you normally lock up, but it's not going to like cut through the belt or anything. So, and the good news is the belts are fairly cheap. So like you can get a different belt piece for like 10, 12 bucks or something like that. If you don't want a fancy one, but they've got, it's the buckles where you can start spending money, but they do have affordable buckles too. So like, I really like the Grip 6 belt. Now, like I said, it's not, you can't hold it up. Like everybody's just, can you hold it up? Is it going to flip? Yeah, it's going to flip because it's a nice belt. It's a comfort belt. It's not really designed as a go to war type belt. But, I EDC with mine and I got no problems. Actually, I really like that belt. And I'm kind of pissed that I never got the one that, I asked for initially, but I guess they don't make them, blah, 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 whatever. But it's a nice ass belt. So I'd recommend them, but I don't know if you're looking for longevity, probably not. If you're going to wear it out once in a while with your 1911, go for it, man.
So would you like to hear from somebody who actually does carry a 1911?
That'd be helpful.
No.
Okay, so far, open and concealed carrying an SR 1911 with an 8-round mag hasn't been an issue. It hasn't been uncomfortable. It hasn't been hard to draw the gun. It isn't uncomfortable when I conceal carry with it. It isn't uncomfortable when I open carry with it. I slept in my truck at a rest area with the damn thing on, and it wasn't an issue. But the thing is, I don't put the holster on every day. So I don't know what sort of wear it would create on the holster as far as the nylon up against the leather, even though it really doesn't move. So this not like you're going to, saw a hole in it, I guess. But would there be any sort of wear issue there, or as far as just wear on the belt? Now, I thought the belts had a lifetime warranty. Maybe it's just the buckle, but since the belts aren't really that expensive, you can, like Outcast was saying, buy one buckle and then buy every color belt, and you can just change it out or do whatever. I really don't see that as an issue if it were to wear out. But I can tell you, it doesn't slide around. At least I'm using the VersaCarry compound outside the waistband, and I've also I've got a Galco leather for inside the waistband, and I've tried both of those, and they haven't been a problem with the belt. But a true test would be me maybe trying to wear it all day, every day for what, 3-4 months straight or something.
Probably. But yeah, I mean, because it's not like I get to go out every single day, and go anywhere. I mean, most of the time, if I'm out, it's just I'm out on my property fixing up something. Which at that point, I'm carrying however it's most convenient for me. If it's slinging a rifle or shotgun over my shoulder, or just wearing the concealed carry fanny pack, just because it's really convenient to have a fanny pack on when it's hot out and I'm wearing gym shorts or something, or whatever the heck's going on. So maybe a few times a month I'm gonna be throwing it on with a gun on. So
I plan on doing a review video probably in October, November, if I've got time, saying after 1 year, what condition are both of these belts in? Because I've been wearing 2 belts consistently since last October. I do have some other belts, but I haven't been wearing them on a daily basis or something. Like the one I've got on right now at work, I carry what I call my Manny pack, my cell phone pouch, which is kind of big on one side, and my Leatherman pouch on the other. So I keep weight on it every day. And I am in an industrial environment, right? I'm crawling underneath machines. I'm getting grease on me and water and crawling over sharp metal objects and doing all kinds, plastic dust everywhere and things like that. So I've been trying to put it through its paces. I've scratched up the buckle, the blue finish, it's anodized blue. I've scratched up the buckle, but other than that, so far so good. But I really need to wait until I've had them for a year to have any sort of objective evaluation. And I think I can talk about putting on a holster, but I'm still not carrying the way some other people out there carry. I mean, there are people that carry around their house all day long. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I mean, sometimes I do, but I just don't do it every day. So maybe there's somebody out there who's got a video on it. I can tell you one thing: those motherfuckers can't make socks worth a damn.
You lost me when you said you needed a holster for a 1911. It's probably different where you're at, but around here, if you got a 1911, that goes in the small of your back, or that goes down the front of your pants. If you got that in the side on any kind of holster, man, you're just losing all your street cred, man. If it's in a holster, you are a pretender. You ain't no player, man. It's got to be small of the back. Got to have them grips on display, man. A holster in a 1911, that just don't go around here, man.
People carrying high points.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Jason's confusing 1911s and high points.
No, man, you got to show off that stainless, man. You got to show off the pearl grips. Holster, psh, man, the kids would laugh their ass off at you and shit, man.
Oh, Jason's top shelf, man. Gangster.
Now you got a little polymer gun, or you got something else you got to have in the holster. That's fine, but a Colt 45 ACP, no, man, no. Small of the back, right above that belt buckle, something, man. It's got to be on display.
I know you got Ozzy's ears perked out there. He's like, did somebody say holster? Now, Jason, are you saying
remember the golden rule?
Are you saying that if Ozzy made you a nice leather holster for your 1911, you wouldn't use it? Is that what you're telling everybody?
Oh, I'd use it. I'm not street trash. What the hell?
After all that shit, too. That's funny. Yeah, man. I love
Jeez,
Ozzy
man, call me.
Culture.
Act like I'm a dog out in the street or something, man. You know better than that. Like I'm gonna stick a $2,500 1911 down the pants. Jeez.
Yeah, I'd
I
like
only
a
do
full
that with
size
like
one from
$1,500 with.
Last
So,
time I wore Ozzy's holster, it turned into basically a conversation piece. So uh, it's a classy piece, man. I appreciate it.
but going back to the belts, the two belts I've been wearing lately are the Core Essentials leather one that I have, or the Groove Life belt. But I only wear the Groove Life belt with like my P365 or one of my shields, because that belt just doesn't have support for a full size.
See, I had a core belt and it just broke into a bunch of pieces within like 6 months.
Damn.
Did you have the
That-
webbed one?
No, I had the one that they say is leather, which is the equivalent of Pringles for what leather should be.
Oh, the
Made
one
out
I
of
got
hagfish.
has straight leather on it.
It's just mashed up leather particles that they roll out in a strip, and then like,
How long did you have that?
oh, it's been a while.
Okay, yeah, because the one I got, it's actual leather strip. It's not that mashed together. I know what you're talking about when you say they're mashed together shit.
Yep.
And Jason's got one too.
Yeah, I
And
just
then
got
I had
one.
the
Mine's not like that.
liner. Which
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of any belt that has a Kydex liner because of even the Hanks belt, which has a really good leather on the outside, and then there's a Kydex liner, and they just put a nylon backing on the back of the leather to cover up the Kydex. But even that Kydex cracked on me. But fortunately, with it being a good quality leather, it doesn't just flop around on me like the core belt did.
Yeah, they must have really upped their manufacturing on their belts, because Jason tell you the same thing. It's not that really cheap wannabe leather shit that's like little, like you were saying, look like they threw it in a blender and pressed it together or some shit.
Yep.
This
Yeah.
this is actual leather strip that the belt's made out of.
Well, it
Friggin'
sounds like Core was just trying to take advantage of the blind guy, and they sent him like the El Cheapo.
I
Yeah.
wish
They sent him they sent him a second. They sent him a factory second. That's what,
I could see when I bought this belt. So
You didn't buy it off like Amazon or something that could have been
No,
fake,
no,
did
no.
you?
the Chinese knockoffs.
no,
The
this
K
was
the K was backwards.
no, it even came with their little core essentials, little carry bag, all that happy horse crap. Friggin', and I like, because now from what I see, their buckles have like a screw in place to really make sure that they stay locked in. And the one I had didn't even have that. It just flipped it over and it locked in place. But eventually got to the point where when it started to chew through that leather and stuff, and the belt would come loose. Then literally, if it wasn't dealing with the broken Kydex, then it was dealing with the fact that I could be carrying and the belt would detach from the buckle. So the buckle would stay locked in place on the zip tie strip, but then the other side that had the lock mechanism locked down on it just pulled away and is just flopping it. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
You're talking about the little teeth that you're supposed to
Yep.
squeeze down, and yeah, those
Now,
are
you didn't
still
buy
on there,
these
but
from
yeah, they do
G23
screw into
guy,
place
did you?
too now. What was that, Rob?
I was asking if you bought these from G23's guy.
That's a possibility, man. He may have fell off the back of some truck, or
Yeah.
the guy that you want to buy a Rolex.
Look, man, that stuff looks good, but the last time, I fell for it and bought a pair of sneakers, like the duct tape fell off the soles, like before I even crossed the street. I'm telling you, man, like don't do it. And if you buy a TV, you can bet your ass there's a cinder block in that box. Well, nowadays, paving stones.
You still get cinder blocks.
Well, nobody buys big TVs like that. They're all flat. So, you
that's
just
true.
line the box with some paving stones. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, some
Then
pages in there. Yeah.
D23 is like, I don't know what happened. And then the next day he shows up with a new box of ammo and some Glock parts.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't like about the Core Essential belt initially is that you had to cut it to fit. I also didn't think that it would give you the flexibility to get just the right fit either, even though those little detents are pretty close together. I wasn't too sure, and I didn't even really know what they were until I got the email like everybody else. And then I noticed, oh crap, everybody's done a fucking review video on this. Oh, well, I'm just jumping on the bandwagon like Olight, right? I've already done that bullshit. And, I told the guy, I'm like, I don't want to have to cut it, and I don't want to this, and I don't want that. And he's like, oh, no, our belts kick ass. And I'm like, where are they made? It's like, well, and we were just emailing back and forth. And I told him, I go, look, man, if I'm going to do a review video, I need some more information. Maybe you could send me some samples of this or that. And then they just stopped. And this isn't the first time I've had that sort of conversation where you get the email and like, I got an email like last week. Hey, we've seen your sock videos. We want you to review our socks. And they sent me a link to their Amazon store. They didn't, do the thing where they're going to give me money and then I'm going to buy them from Amazon or whatever the hell that is. They would send me some, but they wanted me to. They don't have like an online website. They do it through Amazon. And I'm looking at it's 4 pairs of socks for $20. I emailed back. I go, 4 pairs of socks for $20. More than likely, they're not made in America. They didn't respond. So I pretty much piss off all of these companies that want to give me free shit. But if you can't answer my questions or something, then I mean, why bother? I mean, if I'm going to do that, I'm just going to go buy it out of my own pocket and do my own research and do the best I can in a review video. But if I've got the actual source, then answer my fucking questions. And if it's something that doesn't fit in with my lifestyle, I wouldn't buy it for myself. Then I'm probably not going to do a review video on it. There are lots of people that like those 4 belts. If you like it, hey, go with it. At least you've got something that works for you if you're doing EDC carry. But it wasn't my thing. The Grip 6 I found by mistake. There was a commercial before a video, and I actually watched it. I didn't skip ads, and I'm like, what is this crap? And I did some research on it and took a chance. I go, for this price, because their introductory price, they give you a big discount. You set up your account, and they give you your first order, they give you a big discount. Then after that, they charge a full price. So I got these things fairly inexpensively, and rightly so. All right, I'm going to try to buy these. I'm going to try these out, and if I don't like them, did I end up paying what are they, like $70 or $80 for a belt? I think I paid like $35 or $40 for each belt. So I'm sure Core and some of the other belt manufacturers have crap like that too. That incentive to get you hooked, but it just didn't work for me. But the dialogue I had, the email traffic going back and forth, I've gotten so used to that with these companies. Like, hey, try our shit.
I think the internet's got him.
No, he muted up.
So in the end, yeah, barbecue, go ahead and buy a Core belt.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Should work fine.
Yeah, because
Now the internet got him.
it's just basically like a friction.
Or not a Core belt, Grip 6 belt.
I know what you meant.
No, listen to what he originally said. Get the Core.
Like,
Hey,
I like
This guy's on the tape. I didn't pay for mine, and it wasn't given to me by the company for free.
I didn't pay for my Core Essentials belt.
have you heard of the Founders belt?
No, I can't say I have.
It's supposed to be, flexible, but where it needs to be stiff, it's like some kind of material they call like scuba material, and they just like double it up there to make it, stout where your holster and stuff is, but it still keeps the rest of the belt flexible. It feeds through your belt loop, and then you pull it back around, and like a large section of it, like a maybe 10 inches, a foot long, like where you'd have your adjustment on your core belt, that's Velcro. And you just put it through your belt buckle, loop it around, and then it just Velcros all the way down to the outside of the rest of the belt. Um, Langdon Tactical sells those, and I've been wanting to try one of those out, but he claims I just like the core belts. This is the most comfortable belt I've ever used, but he sells them. They're like $50. I might try one of those out next in the
I think I
future.
found something like that last night when I was perusing the Amazons. I think they called it Lone
They
Wolf
were at
Tactical or something like that. It was like $20, but it sounds like what you're describing.
I know
Those
this one's
probably are
called the
comfortable because
this
you
is called
don't
the
have that pressure
Foundation.
in the front again. But you got to loop all that shit around every time. Like, that's, not trying to speak up for the core belt, but the core belt, you just tucking it, sliding it back in. Seems like it'd be quicker than running it back around into your loops while trying to somehow place a holster space in between your loops as well, and hit your sweet spot.
Rob, you're having some bad Freudian slips. You keep saying core when I think you need to say grip 6. Do you really have a core belt and you're not telling us?
No, I don't, but you know what I mean.
No, we don't. You keep saying core.
Yep.
Well, that's because you guys brainwashed me with all this free core shit everybody's getting.
I wish I got free core shit because friggin' that core essentials belt that I bought, it was like $80.
Shit, just email them. They'll send you one.
That's why I can't bring myself to friggin' get another one. I'm like, I just can't do it. Well, that's the funny
80,
thing.
Jesus Christ, they don't even charge 80 now for the things.
Friggin', it might have been like 75.
It's only 60 something now.
Oh, that's all it is now?
Yeah.
Still, after what I spent before, it's still not worth it to me. Like I said, the belt didn't even last a year.
Dude, just email them, tell them you want to do a review on one. They'll send you one.
Just don't ask them too many questions because they'll hang up on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, or tell them, you've already paid more for one in the past that fell apart.
Clean looking.
That looks like the belt that this one company at the Great American Outdoor Show had, but I didn't get a chance to talk to them. But that looks like a belt company.
That's the founder's belt?
Yeah, the Foundation belt. It's 1.5 inches. It's by EDC Company is who makes it. It's made with scuba webbing. And only places the non-flexible scuba webbing in the areas you should wear a holster.
I don't really like that because then they're determining where I should wear a holster.
So, see how it's got all that Velcro area there? It's got green and he's got black.
Interesting.
Didn't really show the belt there. Yeah. Well, I guess it works for appendix carry. They are $45.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's about what I was finding the Grip 6 belt for.
It says here, look, they're from the EDC Belt Company.
Sounds fancy.
Where's it made?
Let's go find out.
Taiwan. Which will be part of China soon.
Well, technically, it already is China. Just not People's Republic of China.
Yep.
Let's just see if they say. Oh, it looks like they have several different model belts. Look, here's one with like a quick clip front, like a battle belt.
I feel like any company that makes their product in USA, when you go to their website, it should just be boom, right there in your face, proudly made in USA. Immediately.
And I found that with some of them that you have to dig and dig and dig and find out, yeah, it's made here in America. Well, why the hell wouldn't you say that?
Yeah.
or they kind of make it look like it is. They put some patriotic pictures in there,
Made in
some
Georgia.
other stuff, and then you
Scroll
find out
back
they're
down,
made
Jason.
overseas.
Yeah, Jason, scroll back down. There was that blue box that said "Made in Georgia."
Yep. All our products are proudly made in the USA, made in Georgia.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if that was Georgia the state or
Small
Georgia the country.
American business in Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice.
Free shipping.
Should be
Hey, I
free.
kind of like that. Look,
Shipping
there's a
should always
gray
be
belt.
free.
It is with R&L's displays.
Look, man, they make all kinds of stuff. Make rifle slings, belts. What the? Is this like a roller for your lint
Lint
roller?
roller?
I don't know what the.
I was wondering that myself. What is that?
Oh, they make a look. They make like a stock cover for an AR. I don't know why you would want something like that, but tourniquet holders, aprons, wallets, lanyard loops. Huh.
I used to get emails from Blue Alpha all the time. I haven't gotten anything from them in a while.
This is strange. What is the purpose of this? So your face can get your rifle stock all stinky?
They have cool belt buckles.
Oh, I see here. Oh, okay. They got this thing here now. You can put some stuff on your stock. Okay, you can use these holes to attach stuff. Like this guy's got flashlight and some kit gear and stuff.
Belt buckles. You think you're a cowboy?
In case your gun isn't heavy enough.
Look, he's got like extra sling there. He's got some stuff. Oh, okay. It's kind of Navajo-y, but okay, whatever.
Not a Navajo or an anti-gun. They wouldn't have an AR-15.
You serious or anti-gun?
Yeah. They were trying to buy one. I think it was Remington. They were trying to buy so that they could shut down so they could shut the company down.
Who's that?
Oh, yeah,
Right.
that's true. That's true.
I would think all Indians would want guns. I mean, did they forget about what happened when they turned them in? Yeah.
You think?
like what?
Yeah, it's been over 100 years. So they may have.
No, they ain't forgot, Rob. They've been stocking
Man, there's
up.
still postcards.
That's why they don't
about
want
that
us
stuff.
to have any.
They're going to shut
They
down
get
Remington and
revenge.
turn it into a blanket factory.
They got their revenge with the casinos. What the hell are you talking about?
They're gonna take over Oklahoma.
They already have. The whole state, or
They
half
can
the
have it.
state's a
They can-
reservation.
They can have it. Well, actually, they kind of own it. Oklahoma is an Indian word. It means red people.
Quite a few states
Oh,
are
is that even
Indian names.
legal?
Well, if you look, quite a few of the states are Indian names. Most of your western states.
Wait a minute. Wait, brown bag's a problem, but that's not.
Hey, I didn't make the rules. What are you asking me for?
So I would guess that Indiana is because of Indian, right?
Mm-hmm. Ohio,
Okay. Well, speaking of Indiana, I just got an
Michigan,
email.
Minnesota.
I got an email that the NRA show is going to be in Indiana next year.
Yeah, it is.
Anybody going?
I
Really?
would like to, but I don't know if I'm going to have the money to.
When is
Hell
that?
no.
April 14th through 16th.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, they
Houston was
decided
going
not
and
to
he's
do it
shopping
Memorial.
for a wife.
I mean, it's in Indiana, not Texas, so it's in a central location.
Well, it's Indianapolis, right?
Yeah, it's in Indianapolis.
Yeah, easy to get to.
I mean, I would like to go.
they didn't hold a gun to my head and force me to join the NRA, it could be a possibility, but just ain't happening.
Well, you don't have to be a member of the NRA to get in. If you're not a member of the NRA, they charge you to get in. I don't know how much.
Yeah, Rob.
Or if you can apply for Media Pass, and then you don't have to pay to get in.
Oh, so I'd have to pay extra for not being in the club, huh?
Just join the club.
Okay, Rob, I'll put it to you. I'll put it in terms that you understand. When you get in, you go to these booths and they give you free shit. Free. Did I mention free?
Are they giving me free guns, free ammo, or a bunch of free stickers and
Yeah, you get free stickers and patches.
Yeah, but I don't give a damn about stickers and shit.
You just
I'm not
said
doing
that
giveaways
All right,
Patreon gifts and stuff. What the hell do I care about stickers and shit?
all right.
I thought you were going to take over Rick's
hats,
shows when
guns.
Rick stops doing a show. You got to be able to do the giveaway somehow.
Exactly.
Free food samples, Rob.
I don't have a sticker store, man.
So if you want to get a gun from a vendor at the NRA show, when you're going around doing your interviews with them, you've got to give them your business card. You're probably going to want to change your channel name. You're going to want to put media or productions at the end of whatever name you choose. So New York Outcast Productions, because that makes you sound like you're serious. And then once you do that, then you schmooze them, and then they'll send you a T&E gun at cost. And you might go, I'm still going to pay for it? Yeah, but you're going to get it at cost. So you're going to save a ton of money. So you just have to schmooze them. You have to make it sound like your channel's bigger than what it is.
Nah, man. Because I wasn't going to buy that anyway. So people would say, oh, that's a deal. But it's not, because I was never going to buy that anyway.
Doesn't mean
Like,
it's not
what
a
if
deal.
it's the new Smith & Wesson M&P 3.0, Rob?
Yeah, or, another piece of advice is...
I didn't buy the 2.0.
Well, another piece of advice is take the New York out of your channel name, because as soon as you say that, they ain't going to want to talk to you.
Now, Vanessa Kitty
Yes,
says...
especially since New York sued them and everything. They might not like you.
Yeah, going back to the whole cover for your stock that Jason was showing, Vanessa says, pimp your stock. Geez, does no one use the stock, just to position it for firing anymore? Well, there is a historical precedent for people putting stuff on their stocks. Even World War II, they had mag carriers for the Garand that went on the stock.
Oh, yeah.
Go back even farther than that to the 1800s, and they were storing, they had ammo pouches that would go on rifle stocks. It's not a new thing.
Well, they had stuff, they had trapdoor pockets on muskets in the stocks. As soon as they came out with a rifle, they found a way to utilize that space.
Yeah, like Barbecue just said, there was a rifle during the Civil War that had a coffee grinder built into the stock.
I call dibs on that, man.
Oh, man. How awesome would it be if we get both Squib and New York Outcasts to NRAM next year, and then we get one of those coffee grinder rifles, and we throw it down in the middle of them and watch them fight to the death?
No.
Hey, if Squib wants to throw it on his credit card and get me first class and a badass hotel room with a hot tub, I'll go, but I'm just not paying for it.
A hotel room, drive there in the morning, go home at night.
Oh no, I need a hot tub if I got to deal with all those NRA people.
Let's say, and for New York, that's going to be a solid, probably 11-hour, 12-hour trip one way.
That's okay. That's okay. He'd finally be going to a centrally located place and all that, instead of asking everybody to come to him. But no, see, the thing is, if you had that rifle, Outcast wouldn't want it because he don't know how to work a coffee grinder, and I wouldn't pick it up off the ground. I would just order one and have it shipped to my house.
Hey man, I can work a coffee grinder.
Yeah, it's called his wife.
You know what they got in Indianapolis, Rob? The best damn chicken fried steak in America.
Better than what was in Rob's freezer.
Hey, Rob, you wouldn't be riding your bike around town. You could rent those stupid electric scooters they got everywhere.
I mean, like the ones we saw in DC.
Because I don't do credit cards.
Man, you can even rent an electric car. Remember those, Squib?
Yeah, that was weird.
Because you need a credit card.
You can use a debit card.
Besides, I'm into exercise, living life. So I don't mind walking around.
Well, you can rent a regular bicycle too.
He's all talk.
Uh-huh.
Shit, if you come here to Columbus, you can get a ride on a bike. They got the bicycles where you and your old lady sit down in the bench seat in the back and some dude pedals you around anywhere you want to go.
We ain't riding, bitch.
You sure?
Damn, Rob. You scared the lady off a chicken fried steak for the rest of her life.
Yeah, they got bicycle taxis, I guess you call them.
Yeah, she liked the cookies.
Now, are we talking actual cookies or is that a euphemism?
Yeah, the actual cookies.
Chocolate chip.
That's right. Nestle Toll House.
Well, it's almost 11. It's about time for me to jump out, boys.
Yeah, this is time to wrap the show up anyway. We've been going for about 2.5 hours. So, Jason, you have anything you want to say before we take off out of here?
Yeah, man, go check out the Georgia Shooting Connection. I think Kingpin's going to put up a video pretty soon and get some information about the Willie Bullet Man fundraiser we got going on. Lots of great prizes. We're already giving away 2 AR-15s. I went ahead and I donated a brand new Ruger 1022 that has a American Eagle engraved stock on it from Talo. It's really pretty. It's really nice. I'm throwing in a scope with it too. So that way we got another rifle to give away. All kinds of other prizes and gun related stuff to give away. So family needs our help, and that's what we're doing. We're helping. So go check that out at Georgia Shooting Connections channel. Kingpin will have something here shortly, but get involved, man. It's for a good cause.
All right. What about you, Rob? Yeah, by the way, that is a good cause. And yes, Kingpin is going to be working on a video. Jamie's going to be getting him all the information for in the video. So if you're not subscribed to Kingpin's channel, go subscribe to Kingpin's channel and watch for that video. So, yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, I've had a golden egg opportunity, and because you guys are all so cool, I figured I could let you in on the ground floor. But I've come up with hydroelectric and wind panels to attach to the side of your house. It's like siding panels, and it's going to create power from obviously wind, storms coming down, and solar. So it's a brand new, it's hot off the press for like $500K. I'm giving out 2% royalties. So, send me the cash. You can get in on this. There isn't anybody out there that isn't going to want this. Even Squib's going to want this in Michigan. Okay, it's foolproof. So, send your cash this way, and I'll write your receipt, mail it out. We'll be all set. Other than that, there's R&L displays. Eat a salad, avoid Glocks, and pay with cash.
All right. Sounds like Rob is trying to be the new Cylindra.
$500K for 2%. So you're evaluating this business at $25 million.
Apparently.
My goodness, that's chicken feed. Think of this. I mean, it's gonna change the world. Now your siding is gonna subsidize and power your house. Think about it, man.
Rob's just trying to get them government subsidies. That's what it is.
Yep.
What about you, barbecue?
Well, first I like.
Wait, hold on. Rob had a retort, so let Rob get his retort.
I was just gonna say, for a small, $15K, I can come up with a prototype. So yeah, I ain't kidding, man. Show me the money.
All right, go ahead, barbecue.
So I'd like to remind everybody that we do have the two-way fantasy football league that's going to be happening, hopefully. We need a couple more bodies for it still, so if you are interested, reach out to me, and I will give you more details, but I don't know if this is it's probably frowned upon by YouTube, but it's Richard's channel, not mine, right? So it's $20 buy-in, winner takes all, 10 teams, so you have a chance to win $200, just a bunch of friends having a good time. Right now, we should be at 7 or 8 teams, but there's a couple people that haven't actually confirmed their spot yet. So I think we're still only sitting at 5 confirmed. So, but that's why I'm saying 2. Really trying to get Jason here. If y'all could help me peer pressure him, as well as Rich is helping peer pressure him. But just remind Jason that only Biden voters refuse to play the fantasy football.
Fruitless effort, boys. I have no conscience.
Well, we got to work on Moo too. Don't forget.
Yeah, we got to work on Moo too.
Yeah. So, what about you, Squiddy?
Moo's perfect the way he is. Leave him alone.
There's Squid.
Yeah, what's up?
The last words.
No. Well, I think it's great that Rob is trying to invent something to make the planet more green, but that could be part of the drawback is that Rob only accepts green. He won't be taking credit cards to pay for this alternative energy device. So you better just stick some cash in an envelope and hope it gets there.
Yeah. No, he takes cards for the gun thingy. So,
Well, look, man, with something like this is like the making your car run on water thing. I'm not trying to be suicidal.
No.
If you just
Wait,
send cash, the government doesn't know about this. I can get it out there, and then they can't kill me because it's already out there.
Rob, you didn't have a car running on water. You had a car running on human feces. Okay, come on.
I got lots of ideas, bro. Lots of ideas.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm repairing drywall in my house because Outcast will travel out of state to do contract work, but he doesn't accept credit cards, and that's where the conversation ended. So just get with the century, man. Get with the century. Last century.
Hold on. So Rob had a car that ran on Where did he get all that raw Glock material?
Oh, you weren't here for that episode? That was, what, month ago? 2 months ago? Where Rob said something about people having a toilet in their car, and it just ballooned from there.
Oh, yeah. That's...
Hey, man. Another 10 years, these sons of guns are going to have it.
That's all the air... Well, I shouldn't say all the arrows, but there's air dudes that run their semis. And the story has it, they pulled into a TA to get work done, and the guy crawled into the truck with the creeper and rolled right back out, went and talked to his boss, and the boss went and thought the guy was BSing him. The boss rolled under there and said, "You need to go." When they opened the truck and said, "Hey, you need to go," there was 5 of them in that truck. I guess the truck smelled like an outhouse, and what they had done was just cut a hole in the floor of the truck, and while they're going down the road, they're just shitting out the truck.
Oh, God. Well, no, with Rob's design, the car would run on the human feces. They would process it like the power plants in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Yeah.
And the exhaust wouldn't even smell like a fart.
Hey man, you guys know who Scotty is on the internet about the cars? Like
Yeah.
Scotty Kilmer.
Yep.
I wrote Scotty email. I was like, "Hey Scotty, when I'm driving around town, my car smells like farts, and I went and put a whole new exhaust system on it, new Cadillac converter, but it still smells the same way." Scotty said, "Drive into a different town."
You probably bought one of Snob's old cars.
Is that like a
Yeah,
legitimate
that's a
story?
possibility.
Let's say that Scotty dude though, he's got a master's degree, I believe, and then he's like, "Yeah, I wasn't making shit for money with my master's degree. I just started working on cars."
Well, that's going to do it for this week's show, everybody. We're going to leave you on that note. Shit-powered cars and people shitting out the bottom of a truck.
Yep.
So,
You're welcome.
yep.
Don't worry, both hearts and farts fade away.
Hey, if you don't want to drive across piles of shit, send that money over. We can get the prototype going.
Hold on, you can stop the Amish horses from shitting on the road here.
Oh, a vacuum cleaner for his poo-powered car that vacuums the Amish horse shit up as you're driving over it.
I can get him a recyclable
The
diaper.
second the Amish find out that you got cars that are running off of horse shit, they're gonna pick that up themselves.
You have to stop and recharge the car at the homeless camp.
Anyway, we'll catch y'all next week and probably somewhere down the line this week coming up. So have a good night, everybody.